Hello, Ralph.
Sean Payton is gone. Tom Brady is retired. And he never scored a touchdown at home versus the Saints as a Buck. Sad. Thomas, hit that intro.
Ralphie, Andrew, and Dave. All right, I got a little intel. Your Saints Happy Hour podcast? Yeah. It's a joke, all right? And I'll tell you what. You, Ralph, you mispronounce everything, okay? I listen, I go, what the? Does he not know the English language? All right, Ralph. Try to get an English class in there every now and then, okay, pal? Now, Andrew! Think you're smart, huh? Think you're smart? You're in big trouble, pal. You piece of shit like you for breakfast. And then, of course, there's Dave. Dave, a little obnoxious? Got a little bit of chip on your shoulder, huh? You gotta cut people down all the time? Is that what you gotta do? But know that life is good. Appreciate it. Do what you do. Keep on keeping on. Shooter out.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. We are live on Twitch. If you aren't, follow us on Twitch. Remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. Also, become an annual patron, Patreon/Saints Happy Hour, to get the best Saints podcast every day, and you get 2 months for free. We had 3 new Twitch subscribers since our last show. Want to thank them. Chad M333, Shark, Nidu, and Biloxi Blues. Both of those guys sub with Twitch Prime. Speaking of which, did you know you can support the show for free every month? Just use Amazon Prime. Do you have a subscription? Of course you do. Everybody does. All you have to do is go to twitch.tv/Saints Happy Hour, click the subscribe button below the screen, and choose the option subscribe with Prime. It's that easy. It's going to take you less than like 5 minutes, so go ahead and do it, even if you're listening to the audio version of the show. And by the way, you can do it each month, so it's not a one-time thing. By the way,
Illinois just subscribed.
Bud Rich just subscribed. Illinois just subscribed. That's amazing. And Bud Rich, he just did a tier 1 for 5 months. Thank you, Bud Rich. You're the best.
Boom.
Yeah.
I hate that you go into all that promotional stuff because after the intro, because sometimes I just want to get right into talking.
What are you drinking, Dave? Let's start there.
Oh, good question. This is I don't know if I had this before. This is DDH Atticus Atlas from Parish Brewing. Another juicy hazy boy for your boy Dave. But wait, so are we had the shooter intro there. Are we are we done? Are we retiring the Sean Payton intro?
Well, we might edit it up for bleeps and giggles and do some fun stuff with it, but that's a project that we got to get Thomas to do on. But listen, it's been almost a week since Sean Payton is no longer the coach of the Saints. Where are you in your stages of grief? Me personally, I'm at anger. Bleep that guy. He left us. What's next? Let's get to the coaching search. How are you feeling about it, Dave?
I think, and we'll talk about this later, but I think maybe because I watched Home Team, maybe I'm in the I don't know what the official phase is. I'm remembering him fondly right now, right? Just right now. I'm not going to say that I'm going to continue to remember. No, actually, that's not true. I will always remember him fondly.
When do they kick him out of the building? I mean, he was still in the building last week, apparently, watching all 22.
You know what? I don't know, and I don't want them to. Maybe, maybe his retirement. You know what? Maybe Home Team 2, Electric Boogaloo, the sequel, is going to be Sean Payton in retirement, actually still coaching the Saints. From behind the scenes, he's just helping out Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen will make a call and Sean Payton will be shake his head, be like, no, not that way. That's a good idea. But
Biloxi Blue said he's still a Payton fan until he gets a new coaching job, of course.
So that's that's actually I wanted to actually mention that. That's where I wanted to go with that. We didn't talk about this, or I didn't get a chance to talk about this. But I feel like it's inevitable that he is. And by the way, Andrew, just get your shit together. What is Andrew trying to do? Is that Andrew trying to like log on multiple times?
Andre George, man.
Oh
with
my
the
gosh!
Russian internet.
This is disaster.
He's got a gas generator that can power half of Charlottesville, but he can't get on the freaking internet.
Yeah, but I am fully expecting that whenever he decides to return to coaching, that he is going to be coming. His first choice will be the Dallas Cowboys. Given what we know now, all this the Florio story, and I know Andrew, he's not here to defend himself. But I think Andrew maybe doesn't really believe that. I think he's in denial. I think he's just won't admit it. But
Well,
I think there was a lot to do with Peyton and Dallas. And the reason I think that is because one, I think I saw it the other day, no coach has ever won a Super Bowl with two different teams. Is that correct? Okay. So there's that. And if I know Peyton, and I don't, I would think that he's the kind of guy
that
who
would want that desperately.
Yeah, that wants to be the best coach that he can be, and wants to break any kind of coaching record, and put himself above anybody else. And the other thing too is Parcells. He's a Parcells disciple. Don't tell me he's not. And I think there's a little bit of, I don't know what the right word. I feel like there's like a French word or something I should be using here, but he's enamored with anything Parcells, and Parcells coached the Cowboys.
He's doing an homage to
just to follow in his footsteps. Again, I do. And the other thing I want to say before you interrupt me and go off on whatever tangent you're going to go off on and take me off track. The other thing I'll say about Sean Payton is, look, obviously I was wrong about the home team promotional thing. Again, look, my mother, when Andrew and I were recording the post game podcast, I'm sorry, not the post. When Andrew and I were recording the breaking news podcast that Monday when he announced his retirement, my mother was calling me during the show, and I didn't.
But you don't know, and you never will.
And I didn't answer. So when I called my mother back, she didn't even say hello. The first thing she said was, "Well, you got that one wrong, I guess, huh?" So look, there's nothing you out there
dropping the hammer.
That's right. There's nothing you out there on Twitter or my friends or whatever that you can possibly say that could be as cutting or as hurtful as my own mother telling me I'm an idiot and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But she did plant a seed in my head that actually I am. So this is my new theory. Peyton's married to a beautiful young lady now.
New theory.
What?
New theory.
New theory. Correct. And so take this for what it's worth, which is absolutely nothing. But I think that I think before you see any decision regarding Peyton and football and coaching, I think you're going to see something about a baby. I think that he's got. I think he's got. This is. I know absolutely
like
nothing.
A small baby.
That's right. I mean, this is obviously total pure speculation, but I don't know. I just feel like he's got a young. He's got a young wife. I mean, I'm making assumptions here. Not every woman wants to have kids. Not every woman can have kids. Whatever. But I'm just going to assume that that Skylene wants to maybe have a baby.
I was an old dad. I thought I was an old dad having a kid at 40.
No, I know. I mean, Edwin Edwards had a kid. How old was Edwin Edwards? 85?
Yeah.
Like Stevik said in our alternate intro, there's no protection. They're all naked.
Anyway, so that's all I'm saying is I don't know. I'm saying don't be surprised if and again, this is not backed by any sources or anything like that.
Oh my God!
Don't be surprised if
you get that right, you'll be more insufferable than your nonsense about Hail Marys. I mean,
well,
here's the thing though. I just want to play a couple of things from Peyton's press conference, which was like 92 minutes long, and he just rambled. Yeah. And the media, he wanted to talk. The media should have done a better job of asking him more interesting, probing questions. I think Sean Payton wanted to bare his soul, and the media just kind of let the opportunity slip on by. But I want to play a couple of things that illustrate, Dave, how different he was and how he got the city and the fan base. Buddy D, I know he might be a little bit before your time as a Saints fan, but if you're an old head Saints fan, he used to say about the Saints fans deserve better because people in New Orleans choose Saints tickets over vacations, nice clothes, more toys for their kids at Christmas. And that's why he would get so mad at the Saints when they were terrible. And Sean Payton mentioned that at his press conference, and I think it illustrates how much he got the Saints fan base. Thomas, play that soundbite.
This fan base has been amazing. And you do this and you travel to cities and you see other venues. This is by far one of the most difficult places to play. And unfortunately, we didn't win enough home games this year. But man, the fans are something else. It's not a wine and cheese crowd. You know, people make decisions to buy season tickets here. That goes into their budget relative to what other things they're choosing to do. We appreciate all of that.
You know, Dave, it feels like a small thing, but like Saints, I feel like the home field advantage is kind of waned, and he mentioned this year. But the Saints crowd, because the Saints don't have seat licenses and that sort of thing, the Saints crowd is still this blue-collar kind of rocking crowd when they're winning and when they're going good at home. And I just really appreciated Sean Payton acknowledging that, like, for a lot of Saints fans, like those season tickets, man, it's a big choice. It's a big chunk of change. It's a commitment. And that's one of the things that I really liked about him. He seemed to he got the fan base.
Yeah.
There's Andrew.
Yeah, there he is. There's Andrew. Well, Andrew and I don't know anything about that. We sit in the nice seats. We do get
section 641. Come and see me next year.
Yeah, Andrew and I actually do have wine and cheese when we go to the games. I've seen Andrew.
Andrew drinks the fancy champagne.
Yeah, the Veuve Clicquot or whatever that. I'll let Andrew pronounce that in French. Since now that I know he majored in French in college.
Veuve Clicquot.
I got the Darren Rizzi fathead in case
serving.
He gets the job. We'll get to that in a minute.
Darren Rizzi. That's what they were. That's what he had served at the Palace of Versailles when he was hosting the party there. Yeah, but I mean, no, but there are people like you, Ralph, and the blue collar crowd.
Unwashed masses, people like you.
Yeah. Let's just say if you were on the Titanic, there'd be no lifeboats for you.
I'm in steerage. I'm in steerage with the pores.
Dave looks at you like you're a peasant, right?
I mean, 640. Dave is like 641. You might as well be listening on an AM radio.
No, but yeah,
the worst joke I've ever heard.
Your point is,
and yet Dave is the one in his pantry.
That's right.
Okay, it's not a pantry. I have a whole closet just for my tech stuff and my games. I have a whole closet for games. But you're right. I mean, we have a very diverse. I mean, I'd say you could say that about every fan base. I mean,
no, I don't think so.
Who doesn't have a diverse fan base?
I don't know. Like, I feel like places with like the Jets and the Rams, like
that's true. That's true. Yeah, you're right.
The Rams have fans?
No.
Oh, I get it. They're not diverse in that there's only one.
So
there can't be diversity.
So
I get it.
So Andrew, I was trying to decide. Like, I just wanted to play a couple of sound bites from Sean Payton's press conference, and we played one before you got here. But I was trying to decide, like, which Sean Payton, like, petty soundbite I wanted to play the most, because he railed against Tampa, saying he twisted a knife from the Falcons. He mentioned how Tampa won the division, but they didn't beat us. But I think the best of petty Sean for his farewell press conference was reserved for Eli Apple. Thomas, play that soundbite.
And no different than our players. I think it's the hardest thing for a player sometimes when they end up on a different roster. Man, we're pulling for you. Like, I'm pulling for Von Bell and Trey. Eli a little bit.
I mean, it's as good as it gets. You're not going to have another coach for the Saints just be that petty and plugged into social media.
Honestly, I'm disappointed. I think he wussed out. He even mentioned Eli Apple. The Saints Twitter account tweeted out a congratulations. They retweeted the Bengals tweet after they won the AFC Championship and said, "Hey, congratulations to Von Bell and Trey Hendrickson." That was it. No mention of Eli Apple.
There you go, Dave.
There it is.
It looks like it looked like Peyton was thinking about just skipping Eli Apple's name there. There was a pause there, and I think maybe internally he was like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that much of a shady bitch. I think I'll mention his name, but I'll just be like, just a little bit, just a little bit.
Andrew,
but he should have. For a guy who wore who. It's not that Sean Payton doesn't know subtlety. I mean, you're talking about a guy who exposed just a little bit enough of the Roger Clown shirt at a press conference to know that the internet would pick up on it.
Yeah, if we do a Sean Payton best of bracket, I think the clown shirt would be a number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
But Andrew, was that your favorite petty moment of the press conference, or did you have one that you preferred more?
Well, I don't know that there was a ton of petty stuff. There was a lot of just reminiscing and explaining his decision. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great Andrew. That's a great segue because my final Peyton soundbite from the press conference is he talked about a few regrets he had, and he mentioned the reverse against Tampa in 2007. I forgot how atrocious that thing was. Thomas, play that soundbite.
All right. My biggest regret first, besides the Ninkovich debacle, would be the double reverse against Tampa Bay.
I mean, look
we ran
at
a
that
double reverse
that
against Tampa Bay in the 4-minute and lost the game. And Mickey brought me a study on Ambien and its erratic behavior and mood swings with people. I've got a lot of regrets.
Yeah, was it Ambien?
I mentioned one of them. I wish I would have done a better job.
Dave, you're going to get blocked
early on in my
like
career
that.
with the media, and hopefully I corrected that. But yeah, there are always going to be personnel regrets, decisions, but the double reverse, the Ninkovich decision. There's a lot.
I mean, what was worse, Ninkovich or that reverse?
Well, definitely
the reverse.
I mean, okay, it's a dumb call in that moment. Like, it was a terrible call, considering the situation. It was poor situational football, poor situational coaching. But
is today the worst day of your life?
I mean, like, if I'm going to defend him for that, like, that was horribly run. Like, what the hell was that? I mean, like, you call the play, but like, there's no way you expect your players to run it like that poorly. I mean, unless they like didn't practice it at all. But I don't know. That was to me that's on the players more than the coach.
The only time I've ever seen Drew Brees visibly frustrated was when Reggie Bush dropped a pass on a screen. Well, I mean, yeah, I've seen him visibly. It was okay. I'll put it this way: it was the most visibly frustrated I've seen.
There we go. That makes sense.
Him when it was directed at one of his teammates. You see what I'm saying? Like, normally, if one of his teammates screws up, he's unflappable. He's just like doesn't show any emotion. But Reggie Bush drops a screen pass, and he just looks at Reggie, and he puts his hands out like that, and he's like, it's like attention to detail, catch with your hands, and he just did that, and it's like you never see him kind of jump on a teammate. So no surprise that the double reverse was botched by Reggie Bush, who is not exactly an
details-oriented
kind of player. Yeah. Look, that double reverse, just the opposing quarterback that day was Luke McCown for the Bucks, and he beat the Saints that day. That's probably what got him the backup job.
Probably.
Circle of life.
Another circle of life, another potential number 1 seed in a Sean Payton bracket.
Ooh, yeah, that was good. But that Sean Payton?
Yes, that was Payton. But that wasn't the Circle of Life song. That was another Lion King song.
Oh. So let's get to actual Saints news. The national media, Andrew, they're completely wrong about the Saints' job not being appealing. They have a great defense, good GM, great owner. Doesn't meddle. lets him spend huge amounts of money. It's an appealing job. They're whining and dining Brian Flores tonight in Mobile. They're interviewing Darren Rizzi for the coaching job. They interviewed Doug Peterson from the Eagles. I think this is appealing. It's an appealing job. Like,
I don't know why. I don't know why this wouldn't be appealing.
But where do you think the coaching search is right about now?
Well, I think Zach Strief said it best. He said, if you don't trust Mickey Loomis at this stage, you need to get your head checked. You're not paying attention. So, there's a lot of faith in Mickey Loomis and his ability to just kind of conduct things, and the foundation is still there. This coaching I gotta say, this coaching search, the more names that pop up, I mean, clearly they're doing their due diligence here. Clearly they're going out of their way to make sure they interview as many people as possible, great candidates, making sure that they talk to, great football minds about what the best path forward is. And my hope is that they get ideas from some of these guys, even if they don't hire them. The question's going to be, what would you do, given the fact that we're struggling cap-wise, given the fact that this roster probably needs a little bit of an overhaul? Like, how would you approach it? And my guess is that they'll get some answers that they'll probably want to use, even if they don't hire a guy, which is part of what makes me excited about this. And then the other thing is, I still think Dennis Allen is the odds-on favorite. Well, I still think that at the end of the day, that's probably who they hire. And my feeling is, if he gets this job, man, he's really going to earn it, because the competition that he has is serious.
Yeah, it's good that they're doing an actual search and people don't feel like, oh, it was just a bunch of bogus interviews and then they gave it to Dennis Allen. And peek behind the curtain, by the way, people were arguing this in the Discord channel, which if you're a patron, you get access to our Discord. But me and Andrew were arguing it on the phone as well. I am of the firm belief that if Dennis Allen doesn't get this job, he's not going to be the defensive coordinator for the Saints in 2022. He's going to be like, peace out. I don't want to be here anymore.
Where either he go?
He will sit out a year, or the Saints will let him leave and he'll go be defensive coordinator somewhere else. That's my feeling.
Why would you leave the Saints? Like, do you see the personnel that he has? Like, even if he doesn't get a head coaching job this year, he's under contract. And like, why would he leave a defense like this that can still get him a head coaching job?
Because fuck him. That's why. Like, I think he's gonna be mad that they don't give him the head coaching job.
You think he's gonna be so mad that he's
stupid? Wake up.
Yes.
You think he's gonna pass on millions of dollars? He's gonna be like, I'm just gonna sit home and collect.
But nothing. I don't think he'll have to. I think he's gonna go to the Saints and be like, you didn't hire me. I don't want to be here anymore. Let me leave. And Mickey Loomis is gonna be, okay, we'll let you leave. Like, I don't think the Saints are gonna be like, yes, dude that we didn't give the head coaching job to, and you want to leave? No, you have to stay. Like, I think the Saints will understand, we didn't hire you. You want to go somewhere else? That's fine. No, I'm just telling you, like, Dennis Allen, I think Dennis Allen, or
if he doesn't get the job and he's not offered another head coaching job, he'll be the defensive coordinator for the Saints. Lock it in, Thomas. Lock it in.
How do we know?
Hey, Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
I understand he's interviewing.
He's interviewing.
I understand that, but how do we know that he really wants it that bad?
He wants it. If you've been a head coach and you bombed like he did, you want
Your take is even worse than Ralph's.
I don't have a take. I'm not making that my take. I'm asking a question. I'm presenting another side of this coin. I don't, otherwise it's just you and Ralph sucking each other's penises the entire time. You need somebody else.
Here we go.
Look, Dave, you know how I know?
Just got tighter.
Because he said, when the opportunity presents itself, I would like to be a head coach in the NFL again. He's actually said that. So that's how I know.
There you go. Thank you for providing factual evidence. That's all I was asking for.
You're welcome.
Everyone has a hard time listening to Dave.
That's true. Very true.
Andrew doesn't know football.
Well, that's also true. That's also true. So this is a real
to the podcast late and just throwing haymakers everywhere.
This is a real Schrodinger's cat situation here. I'm always wrong and Andrew's always wrong.
So
here's the possibly be the case.
Here's the thing, right?
No, but wait.
Mickey
Wait. But I
Go ahead.
think because I stepped out. I went to go to the bathroom and go get
Mm-hmm.
another beer. But I don't know if I don't know. I think they would rather go somewhere else than Dennis Allen.
You don't think he'll be the head coach?
You think it's trending towards
how much more do you possibly need to know about Dennis Allen? You already know Dennis Allen. You know exactly what you have. So I mean, obviously you got to check out everybody else. But like, I don't know I'll say this: they can't be like in love with Dennis Allen. If they were in love with Dennis Allen, they would just. To me, that would be an easy decision.
But don't you think? Are they doing? That's a good question,
you-
Andrew.
you
Are they
can't-
doing
you
these
can't give him the
interviews?
job.
Are they doing these interviews because they really like Dennis Allen and they're like, we're just doing all these interviews is going to prove to us Dennis Allen's the best guy? Or are they doing these interviews because they're like, we really don't want Dennis Allen and we're looking for an excuse not to hire him? And by the way, thanks to Jason Champagne, he subscribed for 4 months. Thank you.
Nice, Jason.
And he said, "Who dat? Rams suck."
Who dat?
Right,
Rams
go
suck.
Bengals. Go Bengals.
Accurate.
I think that they're
look, guys, listen. The Saints like Dennis Allen. He's a good candidate for this job. He just was the head coach for a game, and he beat the Bucs 9-0. The offense didn't even produce a freaking touchdown for him, and he still won that game against the Bucs. So you can't get a better audition than that. And yes, I think Dennis Allen is a great candidate, and the Saints probably feel pretty good. Two things. Number one, they can't just give him the job because the Rooney Rule states that they have to interview at least 2 African-American candidates. So
I mean,
that's
that,
what they're doing.
that rule
They can't-
has been broken before.
Well, it would not behoove the Saints to break that rule.
Yeah.
Let me just
Goodell would find the
Of
Saints
all the
for
teams, they would break
breaking
that
that
rule.
rule.
I would put the Saints on the top of the list of
Right.
how
Fair enough.
massive
But
the
didn't-
punishment would be if they broke that rule. But
7-figure
two,
fine.
Didn't Jerry Jones
Right.
break the rule when he hired?
He did, and he got fined like $250,000.
Oh, they did fine him. Okay, I didn't even know
Yeah.
they fined him. Okay, I did not
Guys,
know there were any
This
repercussions.
job is not like balloon animal maker at the county fair. This isn't like the local clown at some. It's not janitor at your high school.
Are you sure
this
it's
is-
not for local clown? I watched Ditka coach the Saints for 3 years, Andrew.
Fair. That was a good joke.
Um,
But this is replacing Sean Payton. It's head coach of the New Orleans Saints. So like,
Well,
is
and
Dennis
that's-
Allen. Do I think he gets it? Is he a good candidate? Yes, but like they're gonna obviously bring in great candidates, and they're gonna interview the best there is out there, and they're gonna evaluate them all fairly, and they're gonna give the best guy the job because
Well-
they shouldn't do anything less than that.
I want to, you said it yourself. This is to replace Sean Payton, meaning these are big shoes to fill. And look, I don't know Dennis Allen. I've never met the man in my life. I have no idea what he's like personally, but I do know he was head coach of the Raiders at one point, and that didn't last very long. And I think Dennis Allen is a very good X's and O's coach. He's a very good coordinator. But when you're talking about a head coach, you need somebody. You're the face of the team. You're talking about somebody who's got to go up in press conferences every day, all the time. You've got to have somebody who's a motivator, who the players are going to listen to. Peyton thought of all those he was like all those detail things, like that's where he shined, like that was his forte, and that's where the head coach, I think that's what makes a good head coach is like all these little fine freaking details. And I don't know whether Dennis Allen, I don't know anybody, I don't know anything about Brian Flores or any of these other guys. But I'm just saying, like, you can be a good X's and O's guy, you can be a good football guy, a good football mind. But if you're not a good motivator, if you're not a good leader of men, if you're not a guy if you're not a guy that these people are gonna want to run through a wall for and buy into whatever system that you're gonna sell, and of course you have to have a system, and you've got to have a whole thing that a whole plan. If you don't have all that, then it doesn't matter whether you're a good X's and O's guy. Like, you have to have that too, and that's like one of those like intangible things that not everybody has. And personally, just my own personal opinion, I look at Dennis Allen. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who has it. He just kind of seems like
trust Mickey Loomis. So look,
yes, I would trust. Yes,
hire Sean Payton, and I agree, Dave, that he's going to have to assess these candidates and in the interview try to figure out which one has those intangibles, those leadership qualities, all those things. I will say right now, they have an existing staff. They have an existing bank of quality players that are under contract. And I know that locker room has the respect of Dennis Allen and Rizzy, both of them. Sure. And so that's worth a lot.
Well, here's an interesting point about that. Here's an interesting point about the roster.
Topics, Ralph. Don't switch topics. Topics. Are you switching topics?
Well, not really. I mean, kind of, but I think it not totally switching, but it's about the roster.
Well, but the only thing I want to say is when it comes to this Dennis Allen situation, it kind of to me is like the Taysom Hill situation we had earlier in the season. With the starting quarterback, like. Let's keep Taysom. Let's have Jameis be the starting cornerback, and then we can have Taysom here, and he can continue doing all the Taysom things. Well, maybe we can hire an outside coach and have him be head coach, and then we can keep Dennis Allen here, and he can do all the Dennis Allen things that we've already come to know and love that he's doing so well.
I guess they could give Dennis Allen a big fat raise, but he's a better man than me. I'd be like, goodbye.
I think if you don't hire him for the head coach position, I think he's got if he's got any cojones, I think he asks for a raise if they don't give it to him automatically.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, they'd give it to him.
Yeah.
Well,
they'd give it to him.
Here's the thing that I want to talk about too, is Andrew about the roster. Is that the one interesting thing Mickey Loomis said at his press conference this week was that they liked the roster. He thought it was built to win, but he hedged. Because he said they needed to prepare for a successful 22. They had a lot of work to do. So I was confused by it. But Thomas, play that soundbite.
We like our roster. We've got some good things, but we've got some questions too. And we're going through that process of evaluation. We're going to have a list of things that we need to get accomplished in the off season in order to get us into position to be successful. But there are a lot of things that we like. Obviously, we had some good things happen this year. We had a lot of injuries, a lot of circumstances that were difficult that I thought our coaches and players did an amazing job of overcoming. But the answer to your question really remains to be seen. We've got an entire offseason we have to deal with first.
It doesn't sound like a guy who's like, this roster's ready-made to make a playoff run. Like, could go a lot of ways, Andrew.
Yeah, it could.
Well, I think as you look at this roster, defensively, really in all three phases, they're strong. But there is a retention question.
Very strong.
There's a retention question with some guys in the secondary. Marcus Williams, Malcolm
Wait a
Jenkins,
minute. All three phases were strong. The offense is strong?
No, sorry. All three phases of the defense. Sorry. Defensive linebacker. All three, yeah. All three layers, however you want to call it. So,
layers like a cake.
Yeah.
What kind of cake would the defense be if it was a really good cake?
The defensive line, I don't know. Carrot cake? German chocolate? No?
Trace. Okay, since there's since he mentioned three phases, we'll go with Trace Leches.
Oh.
Ooh. So, he's obviously talking about the offensive side of the ball. Tight end's a disaster. The guard play was a disaster. Offensive line, you've invested a lot in it, and now all of a sudden it's like, are McCoy and Ramczyk the only ones that are going to come back? Yeah. So, I guess Ruiz starts next year, but I don't know. I don't know if I want him to. So, offensive line, tight end, receiver, Michael Thomas comes back, and you got a couple young, promising guys in Callaway and Deontay, but you got to build off that. You got to add some guys there. Quarterback's a question mark. So, there's really, besides Kamara holding down running back and Ingram being a pretty good backup, there's really no position on offense that I feel very good about.
I just thought it was interesting, Dave, because does it mean that they're looking to rebuild? Does it mean they're gonna give this next coach a pretty long runway to get it right? That was my theory. with Mickey Loomis, and that he really hedged it. Well, he wasn't like, this is a team that's built for the playoffs. We got everything we need. We expect to win next year. He was very non-committal. Do you think they're
I'm not going to glean one damn thing out of what Mickey Loomis said. I have no idea what the hell is going to happen. What's going on? I won't even pretend to know at this point.
All right, Andrew, we know we want the Saints to hire a good coach. And we know who would be a bad coach, potentially. But who would be the funniest coach the Saints could hire?
I've got a bunch. We're going to talk about the playoff.
Bill O'Brien would be horrible.
Bill O'Brien would be horrible. Like, I mean, the dimple, like, he just looks like a douche.
Yeah, see, like, a horrible hire.
Jerome would be funny.
I mean, but I would care too much about, like, I would be like, what are they doing?
Go Tigers.
Bringing back Jim Mora now, that would be something.
Yeah. I mean,
the
moral soundboard would come alive. Like,
I think that's your answer right there, Rob Ryan. That would be the funniest.
Would he do? And Dave, if they hired Rob Ryan, would he do the coach's show from Miss Mays?
Yeah, he might. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd be there. I would be there. Or maybe Brothers 3.
James.
Maybe Brothers 3 down the block. That would be great.
I like that idea. Just hire Kevin James as the head coach.
Who is
Chris
that?
Owens?
Wait, why
like
Cher?
that.
Who submitted Cher?
I submitted Cher.
Okay,
I think Cher, she could motivate the players because she could do that auto tune.
You believe
like her pregame speeches would be amazing.
You got to be kidding me! All right, I sent Thomas some of my own personal choices.
Some dick pics.
I want to. Well, I sent some of those too. They were like mixed in. It was like a game of chat roulette. So my number one pick right here, Leroy from Who Dat from the movie Home Team. He's the janitor. I think he's been around a long time. He's been cleaning Sean Payton's office for many years. I think he might know something. I don't know. I think he might know something. He also just looks really familiar. I don't know why he looks really familiar to me. So my first choice would be Leroy from Home Team,
there
janitor.
Wait. Check this out. Sent to me before the show by Who Dat. Shout out to him.
It was
from our Discord. Photoshop by him.
I think that's what he says in the movie, right? He says it was time. He was like, he's ready to go. To be honest with you, the whole like timing of this movie and the retirement thing, it's curious to me. But anyway, my second choice was who was my second choice? I don't even remember who I picked.
I mean,
wait, who did I? Oh, we don't. We don't have
Joe Vitt.
Oh yeah, Joe Vitt. Yes, we got. How can we not bring Joe Vitt back? He knows where all the pills are locked up. He knows where everything is.
The Viking mustache.
Aaron Cromer.
I think I'd rather Orgeron than Joe Vitt.
Okay.
Aaron Cromer, the greatest interim coach in Saints history.
Agent Sand says no spoilers for home.
Too late for that.
Yeah, like you don't know, like you didn't see the movie, like you don't know how the movie is. Wait, I have one more.
Go on.
You guys are gonna like this one. You're gonna like this one. Joe Burrow. Okay, we sign him as a coach. He becomes player coach. It's like a player coach deal. Then we get him as our quarterback. This is a win-win for everybody. Joe gets total control of the team. He gets to be our quarterback. We get Joe Burrow as quarterback. Come on, you're on board with this, right?
I'd be on board with that.
Yeah.
I mean, he told him to pick Jamar Chase. That worked out.
See, he could coach this team. I'm
surprised you're not lobbying for JP. I'm surprised you're not lobbying for JP
Lossman. Look, are we going to talk about these playoff games? Are we going to talk about Joe Cool?
We could talk about the playoff game.
What? You don't? That was on the rundown, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Everyone has a hard time listening to Dave.
I think I forgot the playoff game. My only thing with the playoff game
forgot it, like you drank too much?
I did drink too much. It was completely and utterly predictable, Andrew, that Jimmy Garoppolo would go full Jimmy Garoppolo and blow that game and cost San Francisco. Root for I mean, it's clearly Cincinnati is who we want to win. And by the way, it is going to do a massive number in New Orleans, Louisiana, because we love Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Wait, was Eli Apple on the rundown? Should we talk about that later?
We talked about Eli Apple already.
Oh, we're not talking about him again.
Eli Apple could have been a hero of hero. He dropped a pick 6 and over.
He made a good play on that one
fourth down
runs
right before halftime.
Yeah. So I the people that are shitting on him, I mean, he missed that interception, but I mean, he also
gave up a touchdown, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, and he also immediately after the game tweeted again at us like, "What the hell? This is like a drive. This is like a random sniper shooting on I-10 East. Like we're just driving by. We're just trying to get to Mississippi, and just out of nowhere, this dude's just firing shots at us.
He's somebody somebody needs to take away his phone.
What did he say?
Like,
what did he say?
After they won, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to what? I don't know. What did he said after the game? He went like immediately to his phone and added New Orleans, the entire city of New Orleans." And he was like, "I'm going to the Super Bowl." Yeah, like something. I don't know. Like
if you can defeat Saints.
Yeah, like
Twitter.
He's keeping this shit up. Like he hasn't backed down from it.
Well,
like his mom isn't on. Like there's not a video of his mom on Twitter.
I just felt
I just don't understand. Like, I don't even care about Eli Apple. Like, why can't he just enjoy the fact that he's
this came out of nowhere. This is the most random. Like nobody said anything about Eli Apple. Not one word was spoken about Eli Apple.
The most important NFL news this weekend was not who's going to the Super Bowl, Andrew. It was the fact that Tom Brady retired. Maybe he didn't.
No.
He's probably gone. And now, Andrew, the NFC South is quarterback comedy from top to bottom. If Taysom Hill had 2 working feet, he might be the best quarterback in the division. I'm just saying.
I wish he did.
Well, you got Matt Ryan with the Falcons. You got, I guess, Kyle Trask right now with the Bucks, but you got to figure it's going to be someone else.
Let's just celebrate Tom Brady getting the crap kicked out of him by the Saints. Good job, Thomas.
If
just pulling those
Taysom's
highlights.
if Taysom's not ready for Week 1, you're probably looking at Ian Book with the Saints.
Oh my God!
And then Carolina. Carolina's not going to stick with Sam Darnold. What are they going to do?
They got to pay him. Carolina scares me because Matt Rule is desperate. He may go for Deshaun Watson, Brady, Wilson. But like Dave, I feel like the NFC is clearly, after watching the games Sunday, it's clearly the inferior conference because all the good quarterbacks are in the AFC. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers might go to Denver.
Remember when we had like 3 playoff teams? Remember that? Remember those days? Yeah.
But here's the thing, Dave. The NFC is the inferior conference, and the Saints are now in the worst division in the entire league.
It helps.
This couldn't, this couldn't set up any better for the Saints.
Right.
If you're going to have Drew Brees retire and then Sean Payton retire, where do you want to be? You want to be in the worst division.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's nice. It's nice. This
Look
is
at
like
Tom Brady throwing the tablet. I don't never.
This is like being in the AFC East in the early 2000s.
Without Tom Brady.
Yeah. But first of all, the Tom Brady news, I think he's going to announce it, but honestly now, I don't know. I think he's going to do another year just to freaking spite Adam Schefter. I really do. I really freaking do. I think he turned to Giselle and he's like, "Look, I know we talked about me retiring and being around more this year, but this guy Adam Schefter, man, he blew the whole thing. He messed the whole thing up. It's just like crazy. Like it's just got tighter. Like why? He's got to be in control of the situation at all times. I don't get it. But Andrew, yes, I do think he's going to retire. I think eventually we will get an announcement that he retires. Whenever they're done making the video, they got to finish the video.
But Andrew, I will admit, like I was depressed about Sean Payton retiring. I think we all were, and sad because we've gone through all the issues. The Saints need a quarterback, and you won't have Sean Payton picking him, and he's a great coach. But I have to say, Tom Brady retiring, like it invigorated me because now I look at the NFC South and I'm like, 8 and 9 might win the division.
Yeah, I gotta say with Sean Payton, I felt the same emotions you did, Ralph. Like shock, disappointment, disgust, and I got over it pretty quick. I was actually pleasantly surprised that I moved on because you know what? Like I just realized, like, look, I was a fan long before Sean Payton showed up.
Yes.
And this train stops for no one.
Right.
And you're either on or you're off. You're with us or you're against us. And if you want to
Solve
leave,
your
that's
problems
cool. Like
with aggression.
I respect the decision. I respect the man. I'm very thankful for what he gave the Saints. But if he's jumping off the train, then I'm excited about who wants to be here and who wants to coach the Saints. I'm not interested in people who don't want to be on the Saints. So like,
Hey, Andrew,
it's cool. Like, thanks
Andrew.
for the memories. Yeah.
Sean Payton called. He got a message for you.
Fuck you, Andre George.
Yeah,
Sean
you
Payton,
know what? So be it.
he won't even hear this because you're blocked, so it doesn't even matter.
That's right. That's right.
He
But,
unblocked you and then called and then blocked you again.
Obviously, look, it's big shoes to fill, and I hope the next coach can be half as successful as Sean Payton was for the Saints. But, you know, moving on.
Before we get to home team review, I want you both to answer this question.
Yeah.
Dave, you go first.
Spoiler.
No spoiler.
What?
We're spoiling the whole movie. If you haven't watched
Yeah.
it by
What?
now, you're not a real Saints fan.
Just mute us for the next like 5 minutes. If you don't
Whoever the Saints pick as coach,
Yes.
the next 5 years,
Share.
what do they need to do for you to deem it
Hey,
a success?
3 years in the playoffs.
5 years is a long time.
3 years in the 3 years in the playoffs.
3 out of 5.
Yes, 3 out of 5.
And
Got to get
results in
past the
playoffs
wild
are
card. Got to get
irrelevant.
past the wild card round. Got to get past the wild card round.
Just one time.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
mean-
basically you're saying you got to make the playoffs 3 out of 5 years and win at least one playoff game. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. To keep your job, but I mean, like, you can't keep doing that. Otherwise, then you're who was the coach of the Bengals before
Marvin Lewis?
Yeah, you're just the Marvin Lewis. Yeah.
With a playoff win.
Yeah.
With one win. With one more win.
Well, I think it's an interesting question. Like,
No,
and,
but that's what I'm. But I think I think like that's. I think if it's 2027, and the Saints have made the playoffs 3 years out of the 5, and they've won one playoff game, I don't know. Are you firing your coach? I don't know. I think you're still like happy.
So.
I think
mean,
you're
it
still
obviously
okay with your
depends
coach.
I think it depends on how the locker room's responding to him, and you know that factor.
I think it also too, David, would just depend. Like if he's 5 years, if Dennis Allen goes playoffs, and then the last 2 years they're really bad.
Yeah,
He
it depends on it does depend on the sequence. But it also hinges on that one game. Like I threw that one win in there because if there's no playoff wins, if you only go to the playoffs and you lose immediately every time, I think there's a lot more frustration involved.
Andrew, what do you judge it off? Like, because I was arguing with people today.
I don't know. There's a lot of X factors, man. I feel like there are guys like Peyton that can build a lot of equity where you can go 7-9 3 years in a row.
Right.
And you're like, it's freaking Sean Payton. Like, I believe in him. The guy makes you believe in him, you know? Whereas, like, you might have a coach that goes 3-13 after 1 year, and you're like, or Urban Meyer, don't even last a year.
You could finger a butthole. Like, if you finger a butthole, then you've got no equity. Equity is out the window.
Dennis Allen, after a Thursday night game, fingers someone's butthole, we know it was a bad hire.
Yeah, I also, it's funny we're talking about fingering buttholes now, but earlier Ralph was bleeping out the word the SH word. He was saying bleeps and giggles.
Bleeps and giggles. I'm trying to make the podcast family friendly, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm trying,
Actually, speaking of butthole, that's a good segue to home team. If you watch if you watched home team, butthole is a good segue to home team.
Here's the thing about.
By the way, was like my favorite. That was my favorite, like running gag of the whole movie.
That was.
Here's the thing about the Kevin James movie about Sean Payton coaching his son Connor in 2012 because of Bounty Gate. Andrew, it would have been spectacular if Sean Payton's cameo, if he would have been Steve Spagnuolo, Kevin James on his first day back as Saints coach would have fired him roll credits, win Oscar. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I have so many notes on this movie.
Dropped ball. Dropped ball by what was that guy's name? Megan Payton's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Is that Christopher Titoni? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Or Christopher?
Yeah.
But I mean, it was.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
It wasn't as bad as I thought.
Titone.
It was
No.
not good.
I
but
agree with that.
It wasn't bad.
Right.
Wasn't
I
bad.
watched it all the way through. I didn't stop and like
you
fall
had to.
asleep.
I laughed audibly like 4 times.
Yes. All right. Well, okay. Let's get into it. All right. So here's my thoughts on it. I look. Andrew texted it. Andrew should say this, and Andrew should take credit for this. But like he said, like it was kind of weird because it was like a mixture of comedy and like heartfelt drama.
Didn't pick a lane. That was his problem.
Right. So first of all, me personally, I started watching it and I watched like the first 30 minutes and then I had to stop and then I watched the rest of it later. And when I first watched the first 30 minutes, I was like, my impression was like, this is ridiculous. Like I didn't understand. Like they started the movie and they show the Super Bowl victory and the Tracy Porter's interception. And then they have Kevin James up on the podium with Jim Nantz and he's interviewing him. And then but Jim Nantz asks him not real questions, like joking. And like, there's like this comedic exchange that obviously didn't happen. And like, when you have that, I think to Andrew's point, like when you have that, it's like, okay, this is already in the first 2 minutes of the movie. This is already, you've taken you've taken a real moment and you've added to it and you've made it a little absurd.
You've established something.
Yeah, you've made it a little absurd. You took Jim Nantz really interviewed Sean Payton, and instead of just treating that like a real interview, you added in this extra dialogue that was totally like Adam Sandler-esque, like ridiculous. And so it's like, okay, so now, I'm looking at a realistic, a silly movie, and then you get into the heartfelt stuff, and it's like, I don't know, but I thought it was watchable. I thought it was totally watchable. Little Connor.
My kids liked it.
Yeah, I mean, in your interview with Connor, he mentioned Little Giants. Little Giants is still funnier than this. I'm sorry, but I mean,
The Replacements?
But I get it. I never really watched The Replacements.
This was better than I think The Replacements.
The Replacements is pretty bad. Like Gene Hackman's reading the cue cards.
I feel like
it's pretty bad.
I feel like they should have just made them. They should have made the movie. They should have adapted the Sean Payton story and just made it totally random people, and just taken the crux of the story. An NFL head coach that gets suspended. They shouldn't have made it actually Sean Payton, and they shouldn't have made it actually the Saints. They should have just. I think they should have just gone full fictional with it. And just made it a totally fictional, funny movie, and not
try to squeeze in the heartfelt stuff.
No. It could be heart. You can have a movie that's heartfelt and has funny moments. I have no problem with that. But it's just weird. It was weird that it was supposed to be Sean because I think it was
basically like the producer of the movie was basically a family member of Sean Payton.
Well,
it's his daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah.
If you're making the movie about Sean, to me, if you're making the movie about actually Sean Payton and actually the Saints, then it should be a realistic movie. And it's weird that you mix reality with total farceness. Farcical, whatever.
Farcical, yeah.
Like that's what's weird to me about it. Like just make the silly Adam Sandler movie. Use the actual basic plot line of an NFL head coach game, but just change the name of the team, change the name of the guy, because when
You've already thought way too hard about this.
They needed the opposing coach to be more insulting to Sean Payton. Like they needed him to drop 7 and 9 references.
Oh, yeah. See, you should have been a script writer, Ralph.
I mean, like
that's genius.
You could you could have had that coach slam on Sean Payton way more.
He was like cheesy. He was like cheesy insulting.
Yeah, he could have that coach should have been running.
Should have been Shooter McGavin.
Like,
they should have brought Shooter.
Was the Vernon Davis?
Yeah. They should have brought Shooter McGavin back for that. They should have reprised Shooter McGavin.
Shooter McGavin should have been
like this receiver is in your head like Joey Galloway.
Yeah. Like the villain coach, they whiffed completely.
But I did think it have funny moments. The running gag with the kicker and kicking the guy kicking the ball into the kid's butt, and him always saying, "Oh, my butthole." And then like at the end of the game when he kicks it over his butt, and they show the clip of the kid, and he's like waiting for it. Like they show his face and his eyes are wide open. He's like waiting for it to hit his butt, and it doesn't hit his butt, and he's like really excited. I thought that was funny. But also, there was SB Nation did a
ridiculous.
The what?
The puking scene.
That's so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have gone Mel Brooks, Blazing Saddles, farting.
Right, and also like as the SB Nation did a review, they had a guy who stayed up till 3 a.m. to watch it as soon as it came out. And I thought the one point he made was funny. You know, he said, "In what world would somebody leave Kevin James for as a husband for?" What's his face who plays the weird yoga
Rob Schneider.
Yeah, Rob. Like who would ever leave Kevin James for Rob Schneider, both in real life and in character? It made no sense. But
Rob Schneider is looking rough.
But it was interesting. And you had Connor on. You could have been asking him the deep questions. You could have, like, hey, is this how close to real life is this? Was his relationship with his father really
frayed?
No comment.
Yeah, really frayed. Did he really have to earn some trust?
Still a good interview. Connor gave us some good tidbits about how he vandalized the dome.
Yeah.
Biloxi Blues had a funny comment in the chat. He said, "What would the fictional team name be, Dave? Would it be the Redskins?" Saints to Death says, "Dave, you're really into butt stuff."
He is.
Love butt stuff. Love it.
And
Ralph's
Ulrich,
pants just got tighter.
But
yeah, they
Ulrich says this is why I skip Happy Madison movies. Yeah, but like Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore. I mean, those are legendary movies. Come on.
Yeah. Adam Sandler has a lot of good movies, and he has a lot of horrible.
Well, the good movies.
I will say this. This movie was way better than Little Nicky. Way better.
Yeah. And Hubie Halloween.
Hubie Halloween is a hate crime.
Yeah.
So, home team on a scale of like, I don't know, on a scale of like 1 to 4 Vicodin, Dave, what do you give it?
3 to 28.
Careful, jokes like that get you blocked on Twitter by Sean Payton.
Ralph can't say anyone's name right. We're all biased. Like, this movie is gonna hold a special place in my heart, regardless of how bad it is. Honestly, even if it's the worse it is, the higher regard I might have for it. No, I'm gonna say a 3.5. Wow. 3.5 perks.
I give it 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say
2 oxys.
2 oxycons.
2.5 for me. 2.5.
It was all right.
But I enjoyed it, and my kids liked it. So I would say if you have kids under non-teen kids, so like 8 to 12 range, I think that's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
I think a lot of kids. Both of my kids are 8 and 11. They both enjoyed it.
It's very fan. It was. What's that movie with Gordon Levitt? Where he wore the Gleason jersey.
God, yeah.
Like Power Pill. It's way
Joseph.
better than that.
Power. Was that what it's called? Or just
Power?
Was it just Power?
Yeah, that movie's terrible.
Saints to Death asked me to text Connor right now and tell him to block both Dave and Ralph on Twitter.
I think Ralph for sure after his grading scale there.
Solve your problems with aggression.
So
you're never having Connor back.
We asked people for your favorite Sean Payton memories. If you for the hotline, if you want the unedited version, you got to be a patron. This week the hotline is a surprise because I was super busy doing actual work for my real job, and Thomas had to do it. But Thomas, play the hotline for the people.
Gentlemen, keeping the hotline alive, it's Adam, the radio voice, calling you from the eastern shore of Maryland. Well, while our Saints did not play this weekend, it was still a glorious football weekend because Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are no longer in the playoffs. I love it. I did feel dirty and I need forgiveness. I jumped up like the Saints won a game when the Rams hit that field goal, and I hate the Rams. By all means, I hate the Rams. Hate the 49ers, too. So at this point, go Bengals. Something different, which is awesome. I do like that. But, let's get that LSU connection in the Super Bowl. All right, guys, take care. Who dat?
My favorite Sean Payton memory? Well, there's a certain beat writer in New Orleans, and he'd always, from time to time, create predictions about what the Saints were going to do, and even against them, like that they're going to lose or fall short against the team. And then when he was right, he would gloat. So what Sean Payton has done
Is that me?
is what he did was he lied low and let him publish a story pontificating exactly what he was going to do, and then days later did the exact opposite as his parting shot. Take care, everyone.
Hey guys, Dan from Chicago. Big fan of the show, and I want to leave a message around Peyton leaving. And I'm going to echo Dave's comments, both angry and very sad. I'm angry that he's leaving because I had maybe the false and delusional hope that he would be a Bill Belichick type of coach for the Saints, that he would be with us for almost an entire career and make the Saints relevant, right? For any game, for any season, having the opportunity to win. And I'm really going to hate seeing him on the other sidelines, curb stomping the Saints with another team at some point. But more so than that, I'm incredibly sad that this Breeze and Peyton era, with both of them gone, really reminds me of Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan with the Bulls. That pairing and that talent is really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Once in at least my lifetime opportunity. And what I think is incredibly crushing about that is just thinking that Saints' best days are behind them. And I hope that's not the case, but it's just the way that I feel. Love the show, fellas.
I have no business making this phone call because I got so many jumbled thoughts in my head right now. I got to vent at somebody. First of all, you a-holes, I hope you feel good for jinxing the whole thing. Yeah. Sean Payton's going to freaking dunk on the media next week. I hope you die on this hill. Well, now he's gone. All right? He's gone. You got yourself to thank
Where's
for
Dave?
it.
He needs to hear
Jesus
this.
Christ.
Right.
Going through a freaking divorce here. Now I got to hear about Sean Payton leaving. I don't even know who the next quarterback's going to be. But you know what? I just hope that he had his shit in order before he left. There's got to be somebody in the pipeline that's already got a shoe in for the job. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Sean Payton's like, here's your next guy. You're going to get the gig. I'll announce his crap in the end of January. You got it. You take over. And it better be a familiar face. I cannot look at the sideline and not, it's got to be a familiar face, all right? If I'm not going to see the visor, Sean Payton's piercing stare and his piercing nipples, God damn it!
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller. As heavy as it is, though, I'm always telling my younger Saints fans, friends that are Saints fans, that this has been the absolute golden age of Saints fandom, the absolute best time to be alive and to be a Saints fan. And Sean Payton has made that possible.
Hey, Saints fan here since 1971. So sustained success in this league is really rare, and we may not see another period like that in my lifetime. Sean Payton brought us that for, 15, 16 years. So I have nothing but gratitude for the man as he leaves. I wish him all the success until the Cowboys play the Saints, then he can go to hell.
Oh, man, I can't believe I'm actually on a hotline. Long-time listener, listen about 3-4 years, first-time caller. All right, so Sean Payton is gone. He's no longer our coach. Very momentous. I'm from New Orleans. I'm in the Army. I'm Who Dat Army guy, 504, 3-month, Prime subscriber. Now I'm a patron, right? So funny story, right? So one of my buddies in class, I'm in the Army school. I go to him. I say, hey, who's your coach? He goes, Mike Vrabel. I said, guess who's my coach? He goes, Sean Payton, right? I said, no, he's gone. That's how I feel. He's gone. Sean's gone. Hey, guys, your show is awesome. Awesome stuff. This offseason's going to be crazy. Bye.
That was great. That was a lot. That was awesome.
a lot of hot.
That was off season.
You missed the best part, Dave.
3 new callers.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say, Thomas?
You missed the best part where a guy going through a divorce just body slammed you.
Oh, can we play that again? Can we pull it up again?
No.
He was mad at you. He was mad at you for saying that it was all a gag.
Oh, well, yeah. Play that one. That one. Again, I want to hear that. Look, well, I'll say this. Look, I think this goes back to my take about Tom Brady. I think Sean Payton, just like Tom Brady, is now going to play another year because Adam Schefter made the announcement and didn't let Tom Brady make the announcement. I think Payton was pissed off that I said he was going to retire, and so he was like, "Fuck it, I'm retiring." So actually, you could maybe blame me for Sean Payton retiring.
I blame you for everything, Dave. So before we
how's
to
the grip strength? How's your grip strength?
My grip strength is good. Hold and study. It dipped a little. It's a 13-year-old.
Oh.
But they taped my foot, so I'm not tripping over myself anymore when I'm walking. It's nice. It's nice.
When you use the soundbite like that, that's like one of my favorites.
What do you like more, that or the soundbite about my pants getting tight?
Ralph's pants just got tighter. Yeah, well, you can't just use it like that. You gotta like.
So, but I want to remind people, if you're a patron, you could get the unedited version of the hotline. Patrons have access to that. And you get access to the Discord. We're talking all the time. Thomas, what is the Saints trivia this week?
Okay, so Red Hot Saints trivia sent to me by Butters this week is related to Sean Payton, obviously. And the trivia question is, what are the only 2 teams Sean Payton hasn't lost to as a head coach?
Well, okay. They both have to be in the AFC.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
And my first guess is the Chargers,
You think so?
because I don't believe Breeze ever lost to the Chargers.
Yeah. I think the Chargers.
So I'm going to say the Chargers.
Definitely not the Ravens.
Could it be like the Jets? Like, I'm thinking.
No, they lost to the Jets. They lost to the Jets.
Look at the silhouettes.
They lost to the Jets in 2013.
The left one looks like Doug Peterson, but they've lost to the Eagles. That's
the Jaguars. I think it's the Jaguars. I can't remember
Chargers
them losing to the Jaguars.
Final answer. That's it. Chargers and Jags. Final
Yeah.
answer.
The who? The Jaguars and who?
Yeah.
Jaguars and Chargers, I think.
I don't know about the Chargers.
Drew Brees, I don't think he ever lost to the Chargers.
I gotta look at a
Thanks
list
to
of
BW Webb.
Drew Brees, when he was with the Chargers, wrecked the Saints.
Revealing the answer. I guess maybe you're right.
I think it's the Chargers.
Yeah, you're right.
Look at you guys.
Of course, Rain Man. You know, how many toothpicks? How many toothpicks?
Marty
I got Chargers
Schottenheimer
right
and
after
Shad
like
Khan. By the way,
1 second.
the Jaguars coaching search is such a disaster. They put in a request to interview the Rams offensive coordinator, and the NFL was like, you can't do that. You needed to put the request in last week.
This cropping of Shad Khan's image is a disaster by Thomas here. What's going on the top left-hand side of his head there? What is that coming out of his head?
Speaking of disaster, Thomas, hit that music so I can do the finger guns. Finger guns.
Andrew's going to pee sitting down. Andrew just left. He said to me before he left, he said, I gotta go pee, and I'm gonna do it sitting down. Holy shit. Holy cow.
New listeners to the show, this is Morton Anderson and
you remember this. Thomas,
Brian
get a screen.
Take us to the top.
Yeah. Thomas, get a screenshot of Andrew not behind his mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
There's a bladder of an 80-year-old man.
That's right. He's peeing sitting down. He's peeing sitting down.
You would think, since he's doing dry January, like his bladder wouldn't be an issue.
Oh yeah, that's right. Today's the last day that tomorrow he can drink. Oh, aren't we supposed to go till midnight tonight?
35 minutes. We're not going to midnight.
I already
got
can drink.
35 more minutes.
Well, no, we only have to go. Yeah, we only have to go 30. Well, if it's midnight for him at 11 our time. We only have to go for 35 more minutes.
Here's the thing, people. With Sean Payton not being the coach anymore, we need to maybe retire the Sean Payton Open or do some funny things with it. What do we do with this?
Next question.
No, you keep that. No, you can keep that. You were using
Mike Ditka.
Yeah, no. You can keep that.
All right, Thomas.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Andrew, hold on. Andrew's got to put in his headphones. Andrew, welcome back. We just realized while you were gone, while you went to go to the bathroom to pee sitting down, we just realized that Dry January for you ends in 35 minutes, and we talked about this last week.
34, yeah.
Oh, no, who's counting? Yeah, but so I don't know about Ralph, but I will stay on. I got nothing to do tonight. I will stay on here until midnight your time, and we'll record. I will watch you drink a drink at midnight.
Are you gonna wake up and do a Bloody Mary tomorrow morning?
That would be appropriate for morning cocktail. Right?
Would be. Thanks, by the way, that's a good promo. Andrew is on YouTube every morning at about 8:30 Central Time, talking Saints for like 15 minutes. I get on. I'm not on with him. I get in the chat on YouTube and I try to frazzle him with weird questions and get him to mispronounce names and stuff. It's fun. You should join us every day.
Andrew,
by the way, we've gotten to a part in the taking to the top that's getting really weird. You hearing that in the background?
I mean,
all right. Next question.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
next question.
First question. Thomas, hit us up.
Okay, first question from Saints to Death, and
Get your drink ready, Andrew.
He asks, which is worse, the offense that was here when Payton arrived, or the offense that Payton is leaving?
Good question. Not very Boy Scout of Sean Payton. You're always supposed to leave it as you left it, and he might have left it in a worse situation than when he got here. We did have Joe Horn, and he actually did play. So
McAllister.
Yeah, well, that will pass. Well, yeah, offense, right? Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
He
not very Boy Scout of Sean Payton.
It's close because Joe Horn was completely and utterly kind of washed at last year with the Saints. Like it's closer than you think.
Though.
So,
next question.
With David Patton.
Next question from Budrich. Budrich asks, Ralph, does Sean Payton deserve a Saints Happy Hour 2021 season survival mug?
I'm in a giving mood because Tom Brady retired, and I think the NFC South is going to be a trash can. So I'm more positive than I would have been. I'll say yes, he deserves. I'll send one. I'll send one to Connor.
There you go. We'll send two. That way Connor can have one and then Sean can have one too. And they can cheers each other.
If you become an annual patron, you too can have a Saints survival mug.
Well, wait a minute. Isn't he a patron already? What level is he at? He doesn't get the free stuff?
No, he's like a grandfather, like the $3.28 one. He's like,
that's when he signed up.
I'm pretty sure we sent him.
We sent him stuff. We got to take care of the.
I got magnets and stickers and patches at the store. Send me his address. I'll mail him some stuff. I'll mail him some extra stuff.
But you could, if you like the mug, get the mug. We got the new ones that they don't have the 2021. It's Saints Survival mug. It lasts forever. It doesn't have a year on it. It'll if as long as you keep it together, it'll make the alcohol taste good for years to come. Become an annual patron, and you get 2 months for free if you become an annual patron. Just saying.
Next question.
Okay, next question from Saints Rabbit. And Saints Rabbit asks, can we trade current Jameis back to the Bucks for anything better than a 5th rounder?
Jameis, you can't trade Jameis because he's a free agent. But Andrew, Jameis on the Bucks without Byron Leftwich and like missing like 8 starters from this year's team, I would be down for that.
That's right.
That would be tragic.
It's like
horrible.
Jameis is like a Trojan horse. Like we send him to our enemies, and we're like, here you go. Enjoy this. Accept this as a gift from us. And then, oh, by the way, it's gonna blow up in your face.
Jameis 1 of 1 would have to make up with Bruce Arians, or maybe Bruce Arians will just quit.
That would be some real KGB shit right there.
Oh, Bruce Arians, you say?
Well, actually, I forgot to mention we were talking about Joe Burrow, but I was thinking like Joe Burrow was drafted in 2020. Would you trade Ruiz, Bond, Troutman, and Tommy Stevens, all 4 of them, for Joe Burrow?
Dude, I would trade every Saints first round pick from 2018 on.
I'm just saying, like that was our 2020 draft class. So like, not that the Bengals would accept this, but the Saints could have traded their entire 2020 draft class for Joe Burrow, a la Mike Ditka, and in retrospect, that would have been probably the greatest thing they could have ever done. We wouldn't have Ruiz. We wouldn't have. First of all, no Troutman. That's addition by subtraction. So that's like 2 additions right there. And then you don't have Ruiz, and then you don't have Tommy Stevens, who's not even on the team anymore. And who else did I say? Oh, Bond. Yeah, I mean, he's got potential, maybe, but I would. So in retrospect, I can comfortably say I would trade the entire 2020 Saints draft class for Joe Burrow.
Bengals just declined your trade.
Funny story about
my wife.
The Miami was leaking to Ian Rappaport or whoever on the NFL.com. They were like, we were willing to trade 3 first-round picks for Joe Burrow.
I saw that. Yeah, the Dolphins. Yeah.
And my wife was like,
my wife.
Hey, dumbasses, you could have just picked Justin Herbert and not given up any picks, and you'd have solved your quarterback problems. How about that?
It's true.
Your wife is smarter than 89% of Dolphins fans.
She's not bitter about Tua at all. Yes, she is.
She's not Tuanon?
Nice.
Next question.
I like that.
I didn't make that up. I'm not that
next question. First time question, I think, from the fan. From AVL Saint 55. He asks.
He's asked questions before.
He's asked. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
The question is: do you think the Saints will fare better or worse with the game day officials and NFL front office now that Sean and Breeze are gone?
No. Ooh, that's an interesting question, Andrew.
First of all, I don't know why you're dragging Breeze into this. I don't think there was any malcontent or hatred toward Breeze. I think anything would.
Well, Yahoo Finance maybe.
I think it would have been mostly Sean. And look, I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't think you're ever going to be able to prove. I've seen the stats. I saw somebody came out with something recently that said like the Saints have been called for this many more penalties than any other team, and
no, it was the opponents.
I expect it to go down, Andrew.
The Saints were called for the most, and the opponents were called for the less. Like there was like this huge divide.
I do feel like refs were exacting revenge on Sean Payton, and I'm hoping that with a new coach it'll chill out a little bit.
I mean, if they're exacting revenge, let's be clear about this. What are they exacting revenge for? Are they exacting revenge for because he was the head of the competition committee and he passed the new rule about the pass interference? Okay.
Yes,
that's correct.
Okay.
It wasn't. Yeah,
you gotta
no
talk
call,
about this stuff. You gotta mention this.
The no call was like the genesis, but it wasn't really related to the no call, other than everything Sean Payton did after that pissed him off.
I mean, to be fair, this started with the no call. Sorry, but like you screwed up. Like you kind of deserve whatever you get, and it's still a black stain on NFL officiating and Saints history, and
I hope the Rams get jobbed in the Super Bowl.
we joke about Bountygate, but I mean, you notice we don't joke too. I mean, I don't know. I don't joking about the no call. That shit hurts, man. That shit.
I can't go back to that place.
No, the only thing I want the Rams to get absolutely screwed.
Frustrating because it's out of your control. It's totally out of your control.
Yeah, well, I'm, pain.
Oh, and that I had one other thing to make was because we didn't talk about you put it on the schedule, you put on the rundown that we're going to talk about the playoff games, but the Chiefs now, like what, 4 AFC championship games, 1 Super Bowl. So the Chiefs are on track now
to enter Rodgers-y.
And Saints. They're entering the Drew Brees Saints, Aaron Rodgers, Packers kind of underachieving realm here, where it's like you should really be winning a whole bunch of Super Bowls here, and you're not. So what's going on?
Well, the thing is, though, the Saints didn't host 4 straight NFC champions.
You're saying it's even worse for the Chiefs.
I'm saying it's 100% worse.
Yeah, okay.
Because the Saints, as bad as their playoffs losses are, and look, they're bad. The Saints 13-3 in 2011 didn't get a bye. 13-3 in 2019 didn't get a bye. Right. The Chiefs, they have 4 straight home AFC championship games, and they're 2-2, and they're 1-1 in the Super Bowl. Like, that's horrific underachievement, I think.
Yeah, no, I wanted to bring that up because they're on track. I don't know.
I mean, Mahomes is young, but like as we saw with the Saints, like things can happen, and you can be stuck in purgatory even with a great quarterback.
Yeah, Josh Allen is looking pretty good, and Joe Burrow is too. And you don't.
Well, I was going to say when Steve Spagnuolo is your defensive coordinator, the ceiling can be only so high.
That's right.
Next question.
Last question of this show belongs to not Heath Schuler, who was present in the Twitch chat, but not anymore, I guess.
Wait, so not Heath Schuler, okay.
Not Heath Schuler, yeah. The question is, does Tom Brady retiring finally detonate Bruce Arians' bomb he has strapped to his chest?
I think so.
First of all, he hasn't retired yet.
And here's the thing:
Bruce Arians is still alive, man.
He's coming back to spite Adam Schefter, just like Sean Payton retired to spite Dave Carriella.
Here's the thing that I think is really exciting about Tampa for 2022. They did Loomis math this year, which they hadn't done in the past. They did Loomis math to keep their roster together. Right. Now they have a ton of free agents.
The only problem is
I think Tampa Bay's owners are going to say, we're not doing Loomis math anymore. We had fun for 2 years. We won a Super Bowl. We almost won another. It's over. We're hitting the full reset. They're going to be atrocious. They're going to go back to being irrelevant. You'll never have to worry about them for the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to be amazing.
Please
I think,
true.
Hot take, Tampa is going to finish last in the NFC South in 2022.
Fingers crossed. That would be beautiful.
Yeah. I think the roster's going to fall apart, and they're going to make Bruce Arians is going to leave, and they're going to make a terrible coaching hire.
You can't do Loomis math unless you have Loomis.
No, I think Loomis math. I think the Saints invented it.
No. Only Loomis does Loomis math. You don't understand, Ralph. Only Loomis does Loomis math. Other general managers can do their own version of what they can do Loomis. Their own version of Loomis math, but it's not it's like champagne, okay? Like you can make Andrew will get this.
Jason champagne?
No, regular champagne. You can make sparkling white wine, but you can't call it champagne unless it fucking comes from champagne, okay? You can do Loomis math, but it doesn't fucking count as Loomis math unless it comes from fucking Loomis, okay? You fucking remember that? Check this timestamp on that.
Hey, Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
Fair enough. That might be the clip of the week next week. But we got to get to the clip
rest
of the week.
The rest is sparkling fucking grape juice. Jesus Christ.
Solve
your problems with aggression.
But Thomas, did we have a pretty decent week when it came to the amount of clips this week?
Yeah. It was pretty good. Like I saw some first timers. People are getting used to it, so that's progress. I like it. And,
wait. There's Loomis math that you would serve at the Palace of Versailles, and then there's Loomis math that you would give to the homeless people.
So
come on, Dave.
That's the worst joke I've ever heard.
So if Jacksonville does it, it's like
there's Loomis math and it's the Green Bay Packers, and then there's Loomis math and it's the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars are like doing sparkling white wine from like the gas station, right?
It's Martinelli's sparkling apple juice.
So
anyway, all right.
Thomas, give us the clip of the week.
You know what, Dave? I think the clip of the week is the response to what you just said. So, let's just watch. But for the audio only listeners, the clip of the week is mostly clip because of the video. So let's watch it.
And that if they go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, it validates the whole thing. But I mean, they've already made the championship game, so kind of been validated already. Like at least it will at least get you so far. If you buy all these guys and trade away all these picks, it at least get you to the championship game.
It has it titled, "Ladies and Gentlemen, Sir Elton John." Dave, why didn't you wear?
Oh, I got some
funny glasses. Look,
I'm in my pantry. Apparently, everybody thinks I'm in my pantry. Here we go. How about this little poo emoji hat? What happened to Andrew? Andrew's gone.
Andrew dropped out.
Oh my God, Andrew! Poo emoji hat. Is that enough? You want something else? I got something else. Oh, here we go.
You have a turd emoji hat? My son would pay top dollar for that.
How much? Make me a deal. Make me an offer.
$8.
10.
Done.
No,
sold.
done. All right.
Sold.
All right. I already have your address. You want a stormtrooper?
Andrew, he lost his willpower and he logged off and he's just going and he's just doing shots.
Shot.
He's doing shots of shots of alcohol.
Andrew's like, why do I have to do this show once a week with this idiot?
That's right.
I'll just do the other 6 shows a week.
He wants to be a. No, I think Andrew just the dry January. It's gotten to him.
Wait a minute. Oh, that's right. We got 17 minutes. I said I would stay on with him.
Pickle the liver.
I'm staying on. I'm staying on for the next 17 minutes.
No, we're not.
I'm waiting for him to come back. Dude,
we're not, because I was up at 4:45 this morning. I'm fading.
Oh, he texted us. He's feeling really ill.
I figured.
Fuck you, Andre George.
That's a lie.
If he would have thrown, if Andrew would have thrown up during the live stream, would it have been a top 5 moment of this show?
Yes,
top one.
Yes,
top
it would have been.
one.
It would have been It would have been 2. It would have been behind Kevin revealing that he broke up with his girlfriend.
That's too. The woman wandering into Kevin's house.
Well, that wasn't live. She wasn't in the house.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta give Kevin. We gotta give a Kevin Love update before we get out of here.
We do.
Yeah, we'll read the text. He texted us.
He texted us.
It's real
remember the cute girl I said I was texting? The one who got COVID? She ghosted me. Have fun with that one.
Yeah. I replied, no, I don't remember that girl.
He got ghosted by the Rona. I'm just saying.
Oh, Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
My son would pay top dollar for that too.
Oh, this is $100.
Damn.
I think this is Steve. Is this Steve or Alex?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Thomas might know.
I really wish Andrew.
How did you do the rest of the podcast like this?
Well, we're gonna get the credits. I really should have demanded Andrew stay on until he vomited. That.
I mean, I can't. He kind of quit on the team like Peyton.
He did. He pulled a Peyton. He'll be back though. He'll be back.
The going got tough, and then Andrew just was like, "I'm out of here."
Yeah. So, guys, thanks to everybody in the chat tonight. Remember, become a patron. Support the show. We need it. It allows us to do amazing things. And you get and people hate the freaking ads. If you hate the ads on the podcast and you listen to the free version, become a patron. You get the ad-free version. So for Kevin, who was MIA, for Andrew, who got the death flu or diarrhea or whatever the hell and had to bail, for Dave, who's wearing funny masks, and for Thomas back in Poland, running the show, doing an amazing job as always. Tremendous job out of you, Thomas. Thanks as always. Guys, remember, don't shoot your dick off. And until next week, the bar is closed.